You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Glad you can join me on another podcast of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. I thank you for including my podcast into your day, or your night, or evening, or the weekend, whenever you're listening. Let's see. If you're listening on Spotify, go ahead, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to any of the social media links that you see in the description box to get in contact with the show for any comments or suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. All right, so quite a bit going on in the sports world recently. Aaron Rodgers telling the Green Bay Packers that they can pretty much kiss his you-know-what in his in his press conference at the start of training camp that he showed up to. Also, you have Texas and Oklahoma. They're trying to join the SEC, and you have the NBA draft. So, it's a good time to be a sports fan right now. It's a lot going on in the sports world. But none are bigger than what I want to talk about in today's podcast, since everyone is talking about it still. I wasn't going to actually talk about it, but since it seems to be a major story, let's go ahead and jump into it. Why don't we go all the way to the new national stadium in Tokyo, Japan, where gymnast Simone Biles has withdrew from the Olympic competition. Now, coming into the Olympics, you already know that Simone Biles was probably one of the biggest stars coming in. So, look, recently she opened up about her mental state after withdrawing and watching the team win the silver medal as the Russian Olympic Committee won gold. I believe she went on and said that I didn't want to go into any of the other events second guessing myself. So I thought it would be better if I took a step back and let these girls go out there and do their job. Now, Biles posted on Biles posted on her social media Monday that she felt the weight of the world on her shoulders and it affected her practicing and confidence. Now, can we just be honest and real here? Let's just be honest and real about the whole situation. And, people might not like what I have to say, but hey, it's my opinion. You have your own opinion. I have my own opinion. But to me, Simone Biles quit. She quit. It's that simple. She quit. Remember Vontae Davis of the Buffalo Bills? Remember when he retired at halftime? This is just as bad, in my opinion. She quit in the middle of competition. I saw someone comparing this situation to Michael Jordan retiring and Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson also retiring. And look, this in no way compares to those situations. Each of those guys didn't quit. They retired at the end of the season. Now, do you guys remember when Scottie Pippen was hurt in the 98 NBA Finals in Game 6? Now, I believe Pippen hurt his back again. And I could be wrong. It could have been 97. It was either 97 or 98. It doesn't matter. They played Utah in the finals. So it was one of those 2 years. And again, I believe that Pippen hurt his back again. And Jordan told him, look, just be a decoy, because having Pippen out there on the bench, well, having Pippen out there hurt is still better than having him on the bench hurt. Just be a decoy then. Scottie Pippen didn't quit in the first half. He didn't leave his teammates hanging, even though he was legitimately hurt. He just went out and became a decoy, as Jordan suggested, and completed the task at hand. Now, if Simone Biles said Look, I'm done after the Olympics. No matter what the outcome is of what I do, and even if I don't win gold, look, then there's no problem. I have no issue with it. But that's not the discussion that we're having. From what I read, it seems that one of the problems she was having was that she was being scored differently than others. Well, I'll tell you this. When you're the GOAT of your field, you're refed or you're officiated differently. It comes with greatness. Look at how Shaq was officiated. You could have called a foul every time Shaq had the ball in his hands, the way he was hacked. But Shaq didn't just say in the third quarter, okay guys, I quit because I'm being hacked and it's better for my teammates if I'm not out there missing free throws or not getting the foul calls I deserve. And let me say this. Let me please state this before anyone says I sound ignorant or stupid. I understand mental health fatigue. Okay? It's a real thing. And you should most definitely take care of yourself. Never let a job or any person get you down to a point where you have to mentally check out for a while. It's not worth it. So I totally understand about taking care of your mental health. But if you have to take care of your mental state, just complete the task at hand first. That's all we're saying. You're in the middle of something. Complete it. Then take care of yourself. Look, just yesterday at work, I was physically fatigued. I went outside. I took 10 minutes of peace and quiet to myself just to gather myself and get my head back in the right space it needed to be to finish what I was doing. And guess what I did after that? I went back into work and I completed the job and I didn't quit. Look, everyday regular people who work regular 40 hours a week jobs go through it. You don't quit in the middle of your shift. You just take the next day off. Look, I just took some time off from my podcast because I was mentally drained. I had some other stuff going on and my mind just wasn't in the right space to do the podcast. So I took some time off. I enjoyed doing the podcast, but I needed to take some time away. I didn't just say I'm done in the middle of a podcast. Like I go right now, right this minute. You know what? I'm done. I'm done with the podcast. Bye, everybody. That's not what you do. You don't just quit in the middle of whatever it is you're doing. Complete the task at hand, then go ahead after that, take care of yourself. Take off as much time as you need. Look, in my opinion, she quit on her team. And in team sports, that's one of the worst things you can do as an athlete. I believe she quit, honestly, because she wasn't executing like normal and she wasn't being scored like everyone else. So she quit. But hey, that's life. You take the punches and you roll with it. So what's your opinion on Simone Biles? Do you think she quit on her team or do you feel she was right for withdrawing? Leave your comments below. I want to know what you have to say about this. Am I wrong? I could be wrong, But that's just my opinion and that's what I think. All right, so let's move on to this day in sports. On this day back in 1995, the Carolina Panthers, they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in their first NFL exhibition game, 20-14. I'm pretty sure no one cares about that unless you are a Panthers or a Jaguars fan. Hey, look, that's all I got for you today, folks. I thank you for including my podcast into your day or night, whenever you decide to listen. But if you're listening on Spotify, go ahead and follow the podcast. If you're on the YouTube side of things, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the social media links in the description box to get in contact with the show for any comments or suggestions. You've been listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis. And remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.